Simon, you completed a set of 6 wins consecutively in the Championship. The training ground must be a fantastic place to be at the minute.
Yeah, it always is when you're winning. Getting a little bit of consistency together in a few areas, which is nice, and yeah, knocking their wins off, climbing the ladder. We said we weren't really paying too much attention. We weren't, but I think we're getting close to that halfway mark now, where we will start probably seeing a bit of separation between a cluster of teams that are doing quite well at present, and if we can maintain that, we're part of that. We can be part of the ones that have something to hold rather than be chasing.
It was a fierce game against Sheffield at the Shea on Sunday, a bit ill-tempered as it's been described, but it must be fantastic to come out the other side of that with a win, and a comprehensive win at that.
Yeah, I think obviously Sheffield, they had a middle down on bench. You can't read a great deal into that. They've been in form, they've been doing well. I think before the game we were on about the same as in points and wins so far this year, so it was good to get a win against them, and it was a bit farcical, pantomime at times. A lot of handbags. That's the game today. It's not, you can't run in, punch people and so on and so forth. So you're a bit of a mess at times, which led to a lot of long breaks in game, and probably off back of that both sides had a few lapses in concentration as well. So obviously we've got the news of disciplinary tonight. We've got Matt Garside for a late shot, which, yeah, fair enough, it was a late one. We can't really defend that. He just mistimes it there, and yeah, we move on now, don't we? We're getting to the York game.
Well, we'll just come back to Sheffield. Mark Aston said in his post-match press comments that our side put a few cheap shots in, but is it a bit ironic that it's going to end up, after disciplinary's looked at it, being a bit more expensive for his side?
Oh, I'll let you. Well, you've just said it. That's probably just the facts of it there, isn't it? But I think if Mark watched the game back, often after a game, particularly one that you've lost, emotional, mad about, a number of things. You don't always get it right. I think if Matt watches it back, he'll probably, I won't say he'll regret his comments, but he'll probably retract a few of them and cringe at a couple of them. There's a few cheap shots that I can think of, off the top of my head, to be honest, from the Sheffield boys. So it is what it is. I don't think Mark, there's probably no malice or real intent there. I think he's probably just frustrated, and emotion probably got the best of him, as it did a few players on game day.
We saw a few bumps and bruises and knocks in the game. Saltonstall went off after scoring his try to replace by McComb, and Kavanagh obviously pulling up limp in the warm-up. Can you give us a bit of an update on those?
Yeah, Cav's been for a scan today to get to the bottom of it. Hasn't presented like a big injury or anything, but we just need to make sure we've got all the details on that, so we'll find out tonight properly. Salty, yeah, a bit of a doubt over Salty, struggling with his leg. That's one of a couple, to be honest. With a bit of a walking wounded game, they got through it, but there's a couple that are going to be touch and go come the weekend. But we've got a couple of blokes who've been waiting for an opportunity and showing a really good attitude there in the background, so we'll see. I'd like to keep things very similar to how they are, but if we have to make the change, I'm more than confident, and there's blokes on the edge that haven't been getting in, come and do a good job for us.
You talk about that next man up attitude. You have Ben Tibbs that's come into the side in recent weeks, in sort of place of a few injuries and stuff. How pleased are you with his performance on Sunday?
Really, Tibbs has been great. We had a conversation pre-season, well, probably when I picked the first team and he weren't in it. Obviously I go around everyone and tell him the reasons why, and he was absolutely fine, pretty self-aware and understands where he is at the moment in his career and within our squad. And he's bided his time. He's gone played some games up at the Giants reserves and gone really well, to where opportunity came where I didn't think Zach was playing particularly well in the areas we want our centres to be good at. So yes, Tibbs got his opportunity and he got it. He took his opportunities well, didn't he? Particularly the one where he went through and sort of from a standing start really showed a clean pair of heels, which are nice to see. But he's done well for us before, and he were good last year when called upon. Came in at Workington, did a great job. Come out of the team for the following week, took that well as well, which probably was an hard one to swallow at the time. And yeah, he's got an opportunity now where it's his to lose, and there's a couple of blokes there in the background that'll be fighting and chomping at a bit to get in. We've got Greg not a million miles off, Zach obviously wanting to get straight back in there. Yeah, so there's plenty of competition, which is what we said at the very beginning of the year was going to be a good thing for us, and credit to Tibbs for getting on and getting his head down and getting the work done.
We'll move on to Sunday then. It's a massive game in terms of the league. It's third versus fourth, the two form teams of the Championship, one on a 7-game winning streak, one on a 6-game winning run. This is what rugby league's all about, isn't it? These are the games that the fans really want to see. What's it like to be a part of a match like that?
It's what you'd expect. York are a good club. We've recruited well. Probably learnt some lessons from last year. They're playing well. Got a good mix of experience with, between Clarks and Ellis. Danny Kermond, and they've got a lot of experienced championship players. And Glover, I can keep going. Loads of good players across the park, and I think they're a very good team, well drilled team, and we'll have to be an improvement on Sunday's game at Sheffield to make sure we come away with the result in our favour. But yeah, it's going to be a tough ask over there at York, but I think we're in a pretty good spot, as are they, so it makes for a good game there.
So there'll be a familiar name to Fax fans on the York City Knights team sheet. Liam Harris, who obviously spent last season with us, was a bit of a match winner on multiple occasions. How important is it that you make sure that you shut down a player like Harris so he don't come back to bite us, so to speak?
Yeah, Liam's the only player I think in the York team that's played for us before. Yeah, he's got some really good qualities, Liam, and he's showing them. He's going really well over there. Obviously he didn't stay here for a number of reasons, but he seems like he's found his groove a little bit there and he's happy. Yeah, he's going well. We won't have a specific plan to counter Liam. We do obviously know what his strengths are. He's a good runner of the ball, and he can pick a pass as well, so we've got to just be switched on at all times, making sure we're defending at our pace and taking the time away from him, really, not allowing him time to make those decisions, which he's good at making. It'd be nice to catch up with him, to be fair, but we'll save that one for after the match.
Finally then, as we've said, it's the battle of the two form teams. Only one winning streak's going to be intact come Sunday tea time. How important is it that the fans get over to the York Community Stadium in numbers and really get behind the boys in? Like we said, they've been going well on home turf, that we get over there and we really all band together to put our best foot forward.
Yeah, we say this every week, Faz, but it does make a difference. York's a new ground for us. Is it Bootham Crescent, was it called before? Yeah, that was quite a decent place to go. Nice place, good atmosphere all the time, pretty welcoming people, so hopefully it'll be exactly the same, just in a different venue, and gives everyone something new to look at, I suppose. But yeah, when they're in the stand and in good voice, as we were at the weekend against Sheffield, the lads enjoy playing in front of that, and it does give you a lift at those times you might need it. So it would be nice to see everyone over there. I think weather's probably going to be like this, so it might be a nice day out in York, and maybe a nice evening in York for some as well.
Beautiful. Oh, what a shame.